Hey guys, how we doing? My name is Seth. I think you know I was recently on the Jubilee episode with Patrick Bet-David, and we were discussing capitalism. I'm making this video because there's a lot of clips that were promoted without any proper context that I feel like should be discussed. He was also recently on his own podcast with Jillian Michaels, and they went around discussing how everybody is a victim that debated him and they need to just take their own life into their hands, stuff like that, how PBD built himself up in the ground, and we can too. I feel like I need to share this clip because it just shows how disingenuous his claims are and how he needs to paint opposition and straw man arguments in order to show any sort of evidence that he won the discussions. Let me show you this. It says here that I claim that I can't be successful because I'm not white and tall, which I am. So that's obviously not the claim I'm making. You can look at this video and you can see I'm a white person. Why would I be claiming that I can't be successful because I'm not white? I also never claim I'm talking about my own success at all. I personally have been successful. I have podcasts. I made like $80,000 last year as a bartender. I came from a really poor family. I built myself up from the bottom up. I'm not making any sort of claim about myself. What I am claiming is not everybody is given equal opportunity to be successful, either the communities that they're in or just the person they're born. Like, not everybody's born charismatic to be a salesman. Not everybody can come across in a white-centered society as somebody that can be successful. And it just depends on where you're from. Let me play this clip.
Look at the way you're speaking to me.
You can change, you can work hard, but
do you know somebody like you? Do you know somebody like you that speaks this eloquently? If somebody gets a hold of you in real estate, insurance, finance, you can learn how to sell. And you can make some real good money. Somebody like you that I'm watching.
Not everybody's born with those abilities. You have to be,
brother.
Like, somebody who's white, tall, 6'4", whatever.
I'm Middle Eastern. I'm from Iran. Do you realize a lot of stuff that goes against me?
Okay, but many people have no choice to
but that's an excuse language to be making. That's I changed.
As you can see, my claim is that you're much more likely to be successful in the United States if you're those aforementioned qualities. I wasn't even necessarily meaning to imply it's one type of person. You're white, you're tall. These are all things that you were born with that you can't control. For example, him being tall, he's a tall, confident, good-looking guy. Yeah, he's not white, but he was also, became successful in the Los Angeles area, which is very diverse and is not going to discriminate against him. And I did earlier in the episode accuse him of being privileged because he was raised in a very liberal area, became successful because of government handouts. He was in the military. He can claim that that's him building himself from the bottom up, but it's social programs that funded his entire life. Free college, I'm assuming, free healthcare, all these things that we're advocating for that he benefited from. And I'm saying this, I enlisted in the military when I was 18. I did MEPS twice. I was in a process for 6 months. I got medically disqualified. I'm not even discouraging you joining the military for those reasons. It's a good avenue to build yourself up, even if it's exploitative. The point being, he's acting like he's some sort of like perfect example of creating yourself from the bottom up. Like, if I want to see a version of Patrick Bet-David that was raised in Nebraska or Wyoming, somewhere that's very rural, white, doesn't have the opportunities, and see if he has the same sort of response to becoming a successful salesman. My point being that we're in a white-centered society. We're a society that does not give equal opportunity to people based on their external characteristics a lot of times. Yes, you can become successful as a non-white person, but are you as likely to have gone to a well-funded public school? Because your property taxes are funded by, your public schools are funded by property taxes, which if you go to a poor neighborhood, you live in a poor neighborhood with poor property values, you're not going to go to a good public school, you're not going to attract good teachers. It's going to be a more difficult time for you to get a proper education and compete with other people to go to a good college. These are just things that are determined based on where you were born and who you're born to. These are not things that are determined by how hard of a worker you are. And I think that's my entire claim, is that, like, despite being hardworking, both my parents have college degrees. Neither of them are employed. My mom broke her foot. She is unemployed now because of that. She can't get disability for however many weeks. These are things that you can't really necessarily control. There's definitely decisions you can control, but the United States does not set up Americans for success intrinsically.